obvious question is, how much has the disappointment of last year's grand final been spoken of this week in the lead up to the big one?
We mentioned it on Tuesday, but during the year it hasn't been spoken of a lot. But I don't think the players or the coaching staff will forget that disappointment.
Does it become magnified given the fact that it's the same opponent?
Well, it's always the same opponent because Redan always plays Sunbury in the grand finals. I think that's a given. No, I don't think it magnifies. I think the experience that the blokes, the young guys, got from last year, we've been pretty calm in those guys in the finals. So hopefully that experience will shine out on Saturday.
Has the week off been advantageous to you, or are you the sort of guy that likes to keep your side rolling?
I think if we had played on the weekend, we would have said no, but it has been very advantageous because we had a few niggles. It's given us time to recover, work on a few structures, areas that we needed to improve on. It gave us a chance to have a look at Redan play so well last week against East Point. I agree with Gilly. There's no way that the game on the weekend will be a shootout.
Mm-hmm. Are there any changes likely to occur from your successful second semi-side?
Yeah, Dale Koenig, he was ill. He'll definitely come into the side. I've announced that at the Henderson the other night, and it's pretty common knowledge that he's our leading goal kicker. He'll come back into the side, so there's going to be disappointment. We've probably got about 26 players for 22 spots at the moment. There's going to be some really disappointed young men, and totally different to last year. Last year we were falling over, trying to get blokes to train, lost a few players. The bloke beside me was his only game in 5 weeks. Yeah, totally different to last year, that side of it.
Mm-hmm. Eamon spoke about the necessity to stop your free-flowing movement of the footy that was so evident in the second semi. How do you go about ensuring that is maintained, I suppose, and you're able to repeat that performance?
I think Redan and Sunbury play a fairly similar style. If whichever team gets on top in the midfield in those periods, there are going to be periods of the game where you don't control the game, and that'll be the telling factor. We've worked really hard on absorbing that pressure and work on that side of it. So it'll definitely be one in the midfield. I think both forward lines are fairly potent. We don't really rely on one player to kick goals. We're very even spread. So I think we're a more balanced side this year.
And the margins this year, 53 to Redan in round 11 and then 49 and 35 for you in the previous two, or the next two meetings. Clearly the games between the two sides is a matter of breaking the game and steaming away. There haven't been any really close margins this year.
Well, that first game out here at City Oval, we had 7 players that didn't play. Now, I'm not making excuses for who actually turned up to play, but we were 15 points down at half-time, kicked the first goal in the third quarter and didn't play that well. And in the corresponding game, those 7 players played. And we've got a full list at the moment. So momentum is probably on our side at the moment, but you've seen how well they played last week.
Thanks.
When you defeated Redan in the qualifying final, did you think that might have been the last you'd seen of them this year?
Definitely not.
That game, how important was that? I know you've won the final last year on the way to the grand final, but in terms of confidence, winning that game against Redan at it was at Eastern Oval, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes. How important was that?
Well, it got the media off our back because it was on the stuff that we hadn't run since round 10, 2008 at the Eastern Oval. So that was pleasing. Probably pleased our supporters more than the playing group because a lot of the playing group didn't play back then. So I don't think it had any bearing. It's not something that was mentioned in the pre-game or in the lead up to it about Eastern Oval. Like Gilly said, it's in really good nick. It's hard and fast. We've got a lot of young blokes that are probably going to step up with the experience from last year. We've got a fairly good blend, so I think the Eastern Oval holds no fears.
In what way is this a better side, Sunbury side this year than last year?
Well, I just said before that we're very balanced. I think across, we don't rely on just 1 or 2 players. You know, we've got some very good players that are in very good form at the moment, and obviously, you know, the matchups be really critical to the result of the game. But I just think that we're building. We built last year. We were on a decline with like fitness and stuff like that. But I think our game at the moment, momentum's going our way.
They talk a lot about the bottom six in teams 22. How do you compare the bottom six at Sunbury compared with the bottom six at Redan?
Well, I never actually mentioned the bottom six because I don't like to isolate players and put them into categories, but it's more probably the point of their young guys versus our young guys. I'd rather put it in that category, and pretty confident with our young blokes, the experience they got from last year. And if you have a look at our young guys in the team, they've all played probably 17, 16, 15 games for the year this year, where last year was probably 8, 9. So I think I think we'll match up pretty well in the young guy department.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, so from a player perspective, Rick spoke about the idea of coming up against the same rival in a game where the corresponding match last year you lost narrowly. But from a player perspective, redemption, is it in your thinking?
Oh, there's a few boys that think that way, no doubt, because it burns in your mind. Things like that you probably never forget or get over. So, but we've got a new group, so this year it's all about this year, and if you need more motivation, you can draw on last year, and I know a few of the older blokes it probably means more to last year because how hard grand finals are to come across. So. Yeah, for the older guys, I reckon there'd be a bit of redemption in there. But for the young guys, they just want to get out there and have a crack, which is good.
The new additions to the Sunbury lineup this year from last year, what will they bring to the table on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not really sure. Look, all we can hope is that everyone plays their role. If everyone plays their role and we go down, at least we gave it everything we've got and we got no regrets. But with Dale Cunha coming back in the side, it's a big plus for us. He's a potent goal scorer, so yeah, I can see him having a big game on the weekend.
And you've played football personally yourself at a higher level, and clearly you would like to think that you can take something away from that sort of experience into a game like this, where perhaps some of your younger players might feel a bit of tension and a bit of pre-game jitters. So how do you go about, as being an on-field leader, as contributing to just keeping things under control?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you play a high level, it's your job to help out the young guys, and during the week, they come to you, they're a bit nervous, as I'm sure the Redan young kids are. They just want to, all you can say is just don't think about it too much. You don't want to play it in your head over and over. So look, our young guys are really switched on for such a young group, a young playing group. They're all mates, grew up together. So look, you just get them in a group and just say, look, just play your role. That's all you can do, and that's the main commitment that they can do to the team to make sure that they play well.
Both coaches have spoken about the fact that it won't be a shootout and that it'll be pretty hot early on. So how important is it to maybe just grab that initial break and then take some momentum into the remaining?
Yeah, it will be, no doubt. It's going to be on from when they've got a bloke called Edwards in their side. It's going to be on for the first quarter till the last, I reckon. So I can see it just being a 120-minute game. Sure, it's going to be good to get a break, but with the quality in both sides, if one gets up, I can easily see it turning the other way and being a really close game. So it's more of a 4-quarter effort rather than just the first 15 minutes.
Thank you.
No worries.
In the past, I've been in this job for about 6 years, there was no love lost between the playing groups of Sunbury and Redan, but I suspect that's changed. As a bunch of blokes, what do you think of the Redan guys? And vice versa? Yeah.
Well, I can't really comment from their side what they think about us, but look, there's a lot of respect, definitely. Definitely respect their club and everything they've been able to achieve, and on Saturday, hopefully we can turn it around to be us. So, look, especially I mentioned a guy, Edwards, he's very important to them, and you know, me and him get along really well off the field as well, and I got huge respect for him, and not only him, but their whole group. You got to respect a team that can be so successful over a long period of time.
In terms of the nerves of your teammates, you've obviously been away and done other things with other clubs, VFL, Sandford, etc. Some of your teammates who have been at Sunbury a long time, do you think that in some ways they might be more nervous playing in this grand final than perhaps the younger guys that have been mentioned before?
Yeah, possibly. It's not showing though. I mean, the way they're training, they're kind of getting everyone up and helping out the young guys as well, like a Jamie Lobb, a Pat Carris, those kind of guys there, and a Ross Slight. We're just all really focused, and we're a really close group. Whereas last year, you know, like Rick mentioned, we're just stumbling across the line. This year, we've got some real momentum that we want to carry through to Saturday, and that's, you know, the group's really close together, and throughout the year we've just stuck together, stuck at it. You know, we do a lot of things off the field together. So, in terms of that, I don't think anyone's really nervous. Just maybe the young kids, but as soon as that ball's bounced, you just forget about it on Saturday.
Let's talk about, just to follow up on that point there, the group, is this more of a, because you've left the club for a period, is this far more of a playing group as a group than previously at Sunbury?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think with the players, Rick asked a lot of feedback from the players, so now that we've got a lot of older guys, you know, the Lobs, Carris, Slights, these kind of guys, Noel McGovern, Simon Clark, who've all played senior footy for a number of years, we all feed off that, and we're in conjunction with the coaching staff a lot. So I think that helps, whereas last year we kind of, you know, we needed to improve on that, and we definitely saw that as an improvement we have this year for sure.
And as a guy that has played in those high competitions, I know it's not, you can't compare exactly, but how important would this be for you compared to some of those?
Oh yeah, equally. I mean, I don't think any grand final, you know, when I played in the Geelong one in 07 to now, there's no real, you know, I'm playing with my mates that I grew up with, so it's got a different importance, but the same thing is you want to win a premiership no matter what. That's why we're all here, that's why we play footy, that's why the netballers are here, they want to win. So I don't hold any importance to the Geelong one over if we were to win this. It's just a premiership to me, and that's all I want to play for now. As an older player, that's all you play for, so yeah, no real difference, to be honest.